It is Isaac of Frozen Solid Games, and I figured as one thing to do for this is to show the roots of my game development stuff. Now, me with game development has started all the way back in my 6th grade year of school when I first came across the website Flowlab, and it I've made a lot of games on Flowlab, and I feel like I should show some of those games off just for fun, really. And because I'm a self-critical person, and I feel like we should have some fun with this, even I should. Sorry, I've been having a bit of a cough recently. So all the games in the blue, like the light blue, are mine, and the other colors are just my other friends. And so I'm going to start it off with the first game I've ever created, that being Stick Figures Quest. Yeah, there's a little bit of a description. You and your buddy, Inverted Stick Figure, need to find a way to the moon to stop the evil space millipede. You are the last hope for Stickopia. Now, this is Stick Figure's quest. You play a Stick Figure and his friend, Inverted Stick Figure, who can fly. Inverted Stick Figure has arrows, and Stick Figure just has a sword. But I say for my first ever project, I say it's not too bad. But there are definitely also in like all of these games, there's like a glaring glaring collision issues. Since I mean the quote unquote software that this is, I mean it's not bad, but it's not entirely good either. Now this game, like this game, like I said, it was my first ever game I've ever created. So it's not going to be the best one on this, but it's definitely not the worst. I originally didn't finish the game, but I went back to it like 2 years after I originally created it and decided to actually finish it, and I can definitely say I'm not disappointed. But yeah, that first level was just like a grassy plains area, and then this is an underground cave. So let me explain a bit more of the story of this game. Oh yeah, and one thing though. If any of you guys want me to like go in and like recreate that, like these games with like HD stuff and music and everything else, just leave down in the comments. I'd happily sell it for free and as kind of like an anniversary kind of collection for the beginnings of the Frozen Solid Games company. So the main story of this game kind of is like I stated, you Stick Figure and Inverted Stick Figure need to travel through a plains area to get to a cave that houses an underground rocket ship so you can go to the moon to stop an evil space millipede from destroying the Earth. Oh yeah, there's also lots of glitches. Apparently, if you get both keys, it automatically transports you to the moon level, where you're really supposed to backtrack and go to the rocket ship. But yeah, a lot of these games you could say are rushed. Honestly, I put a lot of time and effort into them, but I can definitely see that some of them are rushed. I mean, look at this. The Earth clips through the ground. But my main inspiration for the story of this game is kind of funny. Are any of you guys familiar with the Charlie the Unicorn YouTube series? Yeah, that's where the space millipede and needing to stop it from destroying the Earth came from. And also this thing, behold, the millipede. That's a blatant Charlie the Unicorn reference right there. But this episode, you're being chased by the space millipede, and you need to run through. This level is the hardest level in the game. Yeah, it's really hard simply because of the fact that the cave is full of little millipedes that just love to impede your way. Also, the fact that the giant space millipede is a one-hit knockout and there are no healing items in this cave. Gotta... No, I went the wrong way! I went the wrong way. It's been a long time since I've played these games, so I don't remember all the tips and tricks. If there's one thing I do remember about these games, though, is that they are brutally hard. If any of you want to try the games down in if any of you guys want to try playing the games, just go into Flowlab, go into the Games tab, there's a search engine, and just search for all of the games, and you should find them. Alright, now it's time to fight back. Now this level, surprisingly enough, is not harder than the chase. But yeah, you're able to bounce back the acid that the millipede throws at you to hurt it, though it's not by much. This level is way easier if you have inverted stick figure width, but keep in mind, if stick figure dies, they all die. Yeah, it's a blatant one player dies, everything dies. It's kind of like the Sonic 2 and 3 kind of thing, where if like Sonic dies, it's just over for the both. Yeah, this isn't, this will take a while, so might as well just move on to the second game, Turtles Quest. Now this was kind of like an extension of one of my other friends' Flowlab series, called the Spaceman Steve series. And I decided to make a spin-off game using his character Turtle. Turtles that, it's supposed to be a magical flying turtle. That's Sam, the main bad guy. We have Steve, Spaceman Steve, Wallawashi, Steve's pet. It's supposed to be like a goo kind of thing. Also, Turtle is Wallawashi's pet. So, Steve has a pet that has a pet. And then there's Steven, who tries to be evil Steve, but really he's a good guy that thinks he's a bad guy. Also, this is the first game I've made that has a story. Well, not really a story. I mean, like a cutscene, a beginning cutscene. It's clearly unfinished. A lot of these games are unfinished. One day on the planet Namka, a young turtle lived peacefully. And then that's where the cutscene ends. So, this game is also ridiculously hard. But yeah. Basically, Turtle's able to fly, but this first level, Turtle lost their flying ability. So they need to save Steve, who was locked away with Turtle's magic, and Turtle's able to get it back then. It's incredibly stupid. So, you go, Turtle. Hello, Steve. I see they locked you in with your magic. Could you pass it to me? Sure, here you go. Also, my spelling sucked back in 6th grade. So, each time you save one of your friends, you're able to play as them in the next level. I thought that was a neat little thing, and it adds multiplayer to the game, gradually. Also, if you press S on the keyboard, Steve shoots a boomerang. It's not really useful in this level, but, so each of all of these levels are like towers. The first tower that Steve was in was the grass tower. This is the tree tower, and then the next one is the space tower, where the boomerang really comes in handy. So, he saved Wallawashi. So, here's the space tower. The hardest level in the game if you didn't technically have 2 extra lives. Because you can just play as the other characters and go through and basically have extra lives. I realized that after creating the game, and it makes the game easier, but I don't want the games to be too hard that they scare off players. Not saying that a hard game isn't fun, but it really can't. It really can lose fun if you keep dying. So this is also like the first game that I've actually ever completed, because I originally finished the Sam fight, and with the Sam fight. The Sam fight has 2 phases with Sam and Pure Evil Sam, which is just a harder, faster Sam to fight. Also, I don't know why Steven doesn't die when he touches Sam, but I don't know. So now you just gotta get past Sam, which is easy. Just jump over him. Sam, you freed all my prisoners. You'll die, you little pest. Now remember, this game, if Turtle dies, everyone dies. Yeah, it's incredibly easy to just hug the wall and let the game basically beat itself. You just gotta, like, spam the boomerang attack. But yeah, essentially there's nothing much to it. Once you beat Sam, you get Pure Evil Sam right there. And that's basically the gist of the game. There's, like, no ending cutscene. But here, we move on to my most popular game series thus far, the Wacky Wacky series. By the way, I have no idea where that name came from. I just thought of it one day, and so we have Wacky Wacky. Now, this game actually had way simpler animations and way simpler graphics before I went back and updated the game. Lots. But essentially the story in this game is that there's barely any story, and essentially just some scientists decided to mess with some mushrooms, tried to bring them to life, and then they ended up taking over the laboratory and are trying to take over the world. This is probably the stupidest game I've ever made, but I'm incredibly proud of it. So, you just go in through the door. It was originally called Obstacle Course because I wanted to make a game where you just played as like a character going through like a bunch of obstacle courses. But then it's like I just made like a joke main character, which was just a cube or a square, and I drew face, arms, and legs on them, and it ended up taking off. At my old school, before I moved, in my computer class, there was always this thing where it was like an hour of code kind of thing where instead of like having like normal lessons, we would take some time to learn like coding language and stuff. And by the way, code.org, I hated it. I preferred this because you can do way more complicated stuff with this, with Flowlab. So I ended up being able to use it, and then on our Google Classroom page, I was able to share the link to the Walkie Blocky game, and everybody in the class was playing it, and it got so much positive reception that it was even shown at the school board. And all this is no lie. Like, it was actually this game was shown at the school board, and it got very positive reviews. So here's the mushroom leader, the whole head honcho of the mushroom operation. Oh yeah, for some reason the death animation doesn't load, but essentially, congratulations, you have beaten the evil mushroom man. It seems your journey's at an end. But then there's that little mushroom guy right there, showing that not all of the mushroom army has been defeated. Which moves on to Walkie Blocky 2, Walkie Blocky Jr.'s adventure. So essentially, here, it actually explains it once it loads. Help, help, my father has been captured by the evil mushroom man. Help me save him. So you play as Walkie Blocky Jr., who has a baseball bat and a baseball cap. Also, my friend, who was kind of a co-developer on this, said that it looked like Walkie Blocky Jr. had a frying pan on his head instead of a baseball cap. I thought it was funny, and in fact, it's actually turned out to... Well, I made it canon that he was actually wearing a frying pan as, like, armor. My original intent was a baseball cap, but it turns out he's wearing a frying pan. It's just one of those kind of things that it's so stupid that you have to make it like that. Also, lazy level design, I know. It's just the same kind of thing over and over. But honestly, I was kind of just stretched for level ideas. But, it's not too bad. It could be complicated if you are bad with the whole holding space and running into the thing to use the thing. Yeah, you have to, hold space as you go over, the monkey bars and the ladder. So, this has a similar trick room thing to the first game. 2 out of the 3 Walkie Blocky games have, a trick room kind of thing. And this final boss with the mushroom mech clearly was not inspired by Undertale. Nah, it was inspired by Undertale. I was huge on Undertale when I was developing this game, and, I decided to... the fight icon is ripped straight from it. So, yeah, I was incredibly obsessed with Undertale, and I wanted to kind of make my own kind of spin on it. And in fact, the death animation as well. It was originally, way more blatantly, inspired by it. With you actually controlling a heart instead of Walkie Blocky Jr. himself. But later, when I updated the game, all 3 Walkie Blocky games, I decided that the idea was stupid, and I made it so you play as Walkie Blocky Jr. instead, and the heart is only there for death animation. Yeah, I'm not really going to go through all the final bosses. Okay, congrats, you've defeated the Mushroom Man once and for all, and Walkie Blocky Life does a little jump. So, psych. And then it's supposed to boot you into the 3rd game, Walkie Blocky 3, Stop the Glitch. Yeah, it's the biggest Walkie Blocky game thus far. So essentially, it takes place inside the code. Now, the Mushroom Leader was defeated at the end of Wacky Wacky 2, but he's back as a glitch in the code, which I thought was a pretty neat idea. Also, yeah, that is Turtle. Turtle and Stick Figure make appearances in this game as playable characters. Turtle is just there as like a flying power-up and a playable character in the 3rd level. And then, yeah, there's Steve. Ow, no, come on. Yeah, this one's also the hardest out of all the Wacky Wacky games. Come on. I'm trying to get down the ladder. Oh, that makes it easier. Come on. Yeah, there's like special breaks in the code that happen. At least that's what they're called. Oh, Sam! I'm stuck. Finally. Why can't I? There's... Wait, I can't jump. Okay, jump. Like I stated, this game is... I mean, it's supposed to look like it's glitchy, but it really isn't. Oh, wait, that was... Oh. Yeah, I had to change up the order of the levels because I felt like they were a bit too hard. Level 2 was originally level 1. Level 2... No, wait. Okay. Level 1 was originally level 3. Level 2 was originally level 1. And level 3 was originally level 2. I jumped into that one. I realized what I said after I said it. But yeah, this level is based on the first level of Stick Figures Quest, and I've already showed you that game. So yeah, I figured having like a kind of a crossover game would kind of be a neat idea for the send off of the Wacky Wacky series to kind of go over the history of the old games that I've created. No, come on. Yeah, like I've stated, this is the hardest Wacky Wacky game, and I didn't grab the turtle power up when I could have. Let me just say, Turtle makes this game a lot easier, and if you lose her, it is horrible. So, you just fall down here. And now for the hardest level. It took me and my friend Hunter literally over probably an hour to beat this level. And I've gotten so good at the game that I can beat it in, like, not as long. But it's still a really hard level if you don't know what to do. Like, just jump down. So, yeah, you need to grab the 3 keys. And, yeah, there's Wallawashi. Yeah, this level is based on the 3rd level of Turtle's Quest, which is the hardest level, and seeing as how all of these versions of the levels are supposed to be harder, it's not exactly the best idea. Also, I thought naming the Mushroom Leader in this glitchy, melty state, Arrow 404, was, I don't know, I thought it was smart. I'm not going to bother beating him because this is the hardest rendition of the Mushroom Leader, but with congratulations, you have successfully defeated the Mushroom Leader once and for all. And as I sit here looking at the Wacky Wacky 3 ending screen, I might as well say the sad fate of Wacky Wacky 4. Now, originally there was going to be a 4th game of the Wacky Wacky series, and in fact I actually made teasers and stuff all for it and spread it around my old school to kind of hype people up. But I overall lost motivation in the project, and it ended up getting scrapped. It was going to take place in kind of like an Aether dimension kind of thing, where the Mushroom Leader was wreaking havoc even in the afterlife. And essentially there's going to be kind of like a whole angel gimmick where it was Wacky Wacky and Wacky Wacky Jr. traveling there. They'd have wings, they're able to fly, as well as all the Mushroom Men that are there as well. And there was originally going to be a 3rd character, which is going to be a new character in the lineup, called the Good Mushroom Man. He is a good Mushroom Man. He helps you along the way to defeat the Mushroom Leader. And, yeah, like, I was actually kind of proud of the idea and was looking forward to make the game, but I just lost steam with the project. I guess if I were to make, like, an anniversary collection of these old games remastered and stuff, the fate of Wacky Wacky 4. Alright, so now, on to the next game, The Adventure of Paperclip Boy. This one's kind of stupid, but I also like it at the same time. The Paperclip Boy needs help to make... What? Paperclip... Oh. Oh yeah, this cactus game thing. It was an old thing me and my friends had for an idea. I I disregarded the idea, but I thought it was a funny little thing. So Paperclip Boy needs to make his way through the office, hallway, and the kitchen of the house to get outside underground to fight the evil Shredder. Now Shredder is just a shredder. It's a paper shredder. Yeah, we have Paperclip Boy, who has the ability to shoot a paperclip hook. He has a sword and is able to fold up. And this was probably one of the proudest things I've ever done in this game. There's also a secret in this level. If you click right here, you can see me, right? And then Paperclip Boy is like, yeah. Wilson, you know what this means? I was able to turn myself invisible through sheer mental will. What? Soon, I'll be exploding rabbits out of my ears just by thinking about it. What are you? And then nothing like that happens again. It just happens. It was for a planned sequel, but I kind of like with the Blocky Blocky 4 thing, I kind of just lost interest in the idea. Again, I might put it as like idea. Well, I might put it as like an extra in like a mega collection of all the games of all these early games. But right now I'm not sure. But yeah, the paperclip hook. It hooks onto these chandeliers and kills them. Also, my friend had the idea of like filling this is an office. My friend had the idea of filling the office with just cat posters. The cat poster thing was actually like really funny. Like, believe crud. Also, one interesting piece of trivia about the Paperclip Boy game is that it's the game that has the most amount, well, like the biggest amount of death animations for a single character. Like Paperclip Boy, like you saw the pencil, he gets pricked, and if he gets that, he turns all mushy and tears. But yeah, I had to remove that hack the game thing. It just got annoying. So yeah, that's how the paperclip hook goes. And there's also the stapler that you have to bounce on. That was a neat idea, I think. But then you're also able to shoot that. Like you could either go up, dang it. Like you could either go like to the top route, or you can hook the drawer and go through the drawer. Alternate path. It's not much, but it's something. Yeah, like I've stated, I forgot how ridiculously hard my games are. At least to me. Like I've stated, it's been a long time since I've played them. Like, I think the last time I played them was probably, like, halfway through the 8th grade. And because I felt like a nostalgic run. So, you just fold up, and then slip right into the drawer. Mew Baka. I thought that was another funny one. You just stab the paperclip people. Well, I mean, not the paperclip people. The water droplets sent by a shutter. Alright, here is the annoying part, the hallway. More cat posters. You have to go right through you have to go through as the paper copter. It was originally going to be a paper airplane, but I don't know how to draw one with pixels. Come on. And through to the kitchen. Now the kitchen, it's a decent level in my opinion. More hooks, and then he bursts into flames. But yeah, like this game with how many, like, Paperclip Boy is seriously the weakest character I've ever created. Like, almost a lot of stuff is able to easily kill him. Fire, water, pencils, being shredded. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you hook onto one of the hooks, or if you like go into paper mode, like flat paper mode, you can actually cheat the death. It's I don't know how to fix it, but it's a thing you can do to prevent death. Now here's the level I'm the proudest of. Underground. Like, these are supposed to be like little ant mounds, and you have to travel underground. And of course, underground water. But But yeah, I thought the idea of just having like going like through anthills and stuff would be neat. Instead of water droplets, I really should have made them ants. But I think I was running out of assets. Sorry, like I said, my cough is really bad. So here's the annoying part. You have to travel through. Okay, good. Like you were supposed to like travel through all that. Alright. And then you just... Okay, a lot of these games have wall jumping, and I really suck at the wall jumping now. Like, it used to be no problem when I first created the game. Now it's, like, one of the hardest things to do. Also, the reason that there's no in-game sound is because my games don't have any sound. Aside from the occasional annoying sound effect. That's why I turned off the music. No, this game wasn't completed. I mean, I got Shredder done. He has all of his attacks. Like the water stuff. And if you jump on top of him, you get shredded. But that's all with the game. I haven't completed it, and I don't think I ever will complete it. It was a very old project that, honestly, a lot of these that I don't finish is just because I lost steam with. But here, Dimensional Gate. This is probably one of the best games that I've actually completed. And this was also created by the time that my games just kind of lost traction with everybody. So he plays a guy named Kyle, and he's seen a strange portal in his home world, and now travels through his world and the reverse world to stop his evil counterpart. And can he stop himself? Because the main antagonist is a negative world version of himself. Oh yeah, one neat thing that I thought of is that, like, he has a gun to shoot. You can blow up your house. I thought that was my friend suggested that I have that, and this is also the first game I made that actually has multiple endings. Because there's the normal ending, the suicide ending, the try hard ending, and the you don't have a life ending. And I will show all the endings in my playthrough. Dang it. Okay, so I'm just gonna... Hold on. Gotta load. I would probably just move the assets to get all of this. Alright, no, hold on. Now you can actually get an ending early on in the first level. Now what you're supposed to do is... is that, like, right here... Hold on. Like, instead of going into the portal, you bounce. Because it's like you try to suicide yourself. And it's like, wow, trying to kill yourself? Sad, now go back to the portal. But then if you go here, wow, you did kill yourself. That's not how you beat a game. And then you get an ending. Yeah, I know it's a stupid joke. It's like, hey, you killed yourself. That's not how you get an ending, but here's an ending anyway. Also, what's really cool is that I actually made it so, like, if you invert the colors, the inverted world is the same as the normal world, if you invert it. Like, I actually took the time to find the colors that were the direct inversion of the colors I used in the normal world. But it's a pretty cool idea where you have to travel in between worlds to stop the threat. And that's kind of why it's called Dimensional Gate. It's because the portal is a gate in between the two dimensions. Also, those little things running by that are enemies, I just call them blobids. I don't know why. It was just like the first word It's the first word that came to my mind. But here's the castle area. Well, level. Lots of wall jumping. You're supposed to jump in, dive through. I mean, this game is probably one of the more easier ones that I've created, aside from the final boss. Reverse Kyle is really hard if you don't know his pattern. But yeah, so I like how also in the reverse world, oh yeah, if you hold down the shift and you cancel the crawling animation, you can just fade through the blocks like nothing. But with the reverse world, you'll see that like all the castles and stuff are just destroyed. Yeah, you can cancel the death animation really easy, making yourself invincible. It's not how the game's supposed to be played, but you can do that. Oh, like in this castle, like in the reverse castle level, um, you can see how the castle is like destroyed. Also, unlike the normal world, where everything actually has like a ground, everything in the reverse world is floating. It kind of just shows that the reverse world kind of just exists in a void. Like, I guess if you really want to go into it, yeah, the reverse world is technically a void, except it's not completely empty. Yeah, you're supposed to just crawl through the ruins of what was the castle. And you're supposed to jump in. Yeah, I stated that I'd show all the endings to this game. And now for the place with this level has 3 different ways to get a different ending. 2 of them quite easy, and then another one you have to actually be Kyle. Well, if it's Kyle. So you just jump in, go through this wall, and and I'm going to show you the try-hard ending. So you just go through, jump, just go up here and just jump every so often. And then you come across this castle, where it's like, congratulations, you found a hidden ending. Now go fight the boss, you dirty hacker. And then it boots you back to the start of the game. But then, there's a secret, even past the try-hard ending. If you go through, you'll see there's another castle. You jump through this wall, and then it's like, alright, try hard, you found your ending. And then you got the try hard ending. And I'm going to show off Reverse Kyle. Yeah, this is the inverted castle. So, you just go in, just shoot him a bunch. If it wasn't for the glitch where you can cancel the death animation to save yourself, this boss would be a lot harder. What? How could I have been defeated by my inferior double? And then the floor just caves in, and if you're not careful, you will fall through and you'll be dead. I put that in at the last minute, kind of just make the whole thing harder, since I realized that this game is actually incredibly easy. So then, good job, you have completed Dimensional Gate. Now you can return home. The end. And so that was Dimensional Gate. And then after this next one, Crowbar Jones, we're going to get into the ones that aren't finished. This is a pizza potato game. It's an unfinished thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to put that there. And then here's the hype for Wacky Wacky 4 that I didn't end up actually following through with. So we have Crowbar Jones 1, The Reckoning, which is the last game where there's actually really a game there. It's not just like a proof of concept. But this game was having some updates worked on it. Like here, it's meant to be like a helicopter power-up that kills enemies and it's supposed to fly around you and help kill enemies. But I didn't end up fully getting that programmed in. So it kind of just flies in a straight line, not actually following you. But this is actually kind of cool for one of these kind of games, seeing as how there's a boss at the end of each level. So the story for this game is essentially, it's like a robot apocalypse, and you play as Crowbar Jones. And he has a crowbar. And you start off in a warehouse, because that's where he tried to hide, but the robots came in there and screwed shit up. But yeah, the first boss doesn't look like much, but then it's the Boxer. Yeah, it's a crappy pun, but I was kind of happy with it. You just whack them with your crowbar a couple times. This is kind of the strategy with every kind of boss in this game. So that's the warehouse done. And then you're out into the city. And then you just hop from rooftop to rooftop. Killing robots. Whacking them. You whack the robots. Like I stated, I tried to implement the helicopter power-up. Though, like I've stated again and again, if you guys want like an like a remix of these games with like actual stuff finished and enhanced stuff, I will make it. And this kind of stuff that hasn't been implemented, or at least not finished, will be finished, and you will see like a proper ending to these games. But other than, if you go on to like the actual Flowlab pages and these games, they probably won't ever be updated. Simply because I'm working on bigger and better projects like Adventure Realm, which is not going to look like this. It's going to kind of, well, I mean, it might look like it. It's hard to explain like exactly how it's going to look, seeing as how I haven't really made any assets for it. Though I do have a mental idea. But yeah, now we got him across the boss of the city, Evil Mr. Pixel. Oh, that's it. Yeah, Evil Mr. Pixel. That's what I named him. He shoots at robots. Yeah, I don't even know like this backstory on this guy. In fact, all the bosses don't really have a backstory. They just kind of exist. They exist as the final boss's minions. That's all I can really say about them. But yeah, it's like, I don't even know how I really thought of even Mr. Pixel. He's just kind of like a guy that was hit by the robots, but wasn't exactly turned into one. He kind of just turned into like a mechanized shell. Oh, no. You can still die after you beat the boss. That was the death animation. Crowbar Jones turns into a robot. But I beat that level and I don't care. Now for the third level, which I'm really proud of. You're in an airport and you fly through the air, shooting missiles down at enemy planes, trying to dodge buildings and stuff. Dang it. This is the level that really enraged me when I first made it. Seeing as how the plane is a one-hit kill instead of like normal Crowbar Jones, it's like probably one of the hardest levels I've made in any of these games. Yeah, so it's like, besides, I haven't played the game, so I don't remember the layout of, I can't remember the layout of the city. But yeah, this is one of my proudest levels in this game, because like you're flying through the sky in an airplane, shooting down other airplanes. Also the boss. The boss was based on one of my friends. And by based I mean very loosely, because he likes chickens, and the boss in this level is a chicken. The boss of this level is a chicken. He asked for it. I implemented it. I'm not totally disappointed by it, but I don't think the fight was ever actually fully completed. It's kind of just there. There's like, unlike all the other characters, this character just has like no backstory. He's called the Robo Chicken. And yeah, you just spawn the airplane, shoots feathers at you. You just try to shoot it down. I think I worked on the death animation, but I don't think it was ever finished. He shoots metallic wings at you. I think you are faster than him, but I'm not sure. Dang it, I can't shoot him. I know if you like hit him, he slows down. Oh, we hit. Yeah, the thing is, you reach the end of the map. Oh wow, they updated that. Oh, he's called the Anti-Chicken. Yeah, I think I worked on the death animation. I'm not entirely sure. Dead. This was supposed to be the death animation. He goes on fire and then just dead. But that's kind of it. I don't think, yeah, it was like never really fully implemented. And then we have the volcano, which you would think a volcano would be harder than flying through the air, but it isn't. But it is. Oh. To be fair, there is instant lava like everywhere. But yeah, you go from flying in the sky against an evil chicken to going through the inside of a volcano. Also, I don't even think those fireballs hurt you. This area was kind of like never really finished. Like, you can definitely see that the sprites right there isn't up to quality with everything else. And I put quality loosely because honestly, I feel like these games look like utter crap. Though it's a charming kind of crap to me. And After all, these are some of the first games I've ever actually created, and a lot of them were created when I was first starting out making a game. Like, I think this game was made when I was like in 7th grade, and I'm going into 10th now, so yeah. It's kind of like with Jonachrome and the Riddle School series, like with the first Riddle School. Like, he says that the game like looks horrible, but it's like a charming kind of horrible. I kind of feel the same way with my games, at least these early ones. Because like with Riddle School, Jonachrome made the game when he was 11. I made the game when I was in 6th grade, which is kind of around the same time. Though to be fair, Riddle School really took off. None of my games have. Oh yeah, this guy doesn't actually hurt you. He doesn't do anything. No matter how much you whack him, the fight never finishes. And then the last level is a robot factory. Yeah, there's the helicopter power-up that was never fully implemented. And then this was the power-up that was pretty interesting, but there's no way to really make it work in this kind of thing. It's a cloning power-up. Though if one of the clones dies, both of them die. So, yeah, the fist is really powerful. Yeah, like, I thought the cloning idea was a neat idea, but it just didn't end up working. So here's the final boss. He's supposed to have a body, but he doesn't. He has 2 fists that constantly chase after you, and a laser that fires around that chases you as well. And then he's just supposed to attack the head, and eventually it would die, but I didn't actually finish it, like I've stated. None of this stuff was really finished, though he did have a death animation where he explodes. Yeah, I know, it looks ugly. And I think the fists were also supposed to explode when he does. Yeah, boom. I kind of like how I made it so the hand, like, opens up. But otherwise then, it just doesn't really work. And now for the games that, like, really haven't been worked on very much. Here's my attempt at a fighting game called World Tournament Fighters. World Tournament Fighters. Credit to Stick Figures, Quest, Adventures, Paperclip Boy, Walkie Lucky 1-3, Dimensional Gate, Crowbar Jones, Space Adventure, Calculator. All these are my games. Seriously. So World Tournaments. Stage select. Click on any image to start. Only 2 of these levels have been made. As you can see, this is based on the underground level of Paperclip Boy. This is based on the Walkie Lucky mazes. This is based on the moon of Stick Figures Quest. And this is based on the transdimensional thing of Dimensional Gate. This one, this has, like, the actual level made. In fact, Paperclip Boy is, actually fully programmed, aside from the health feature. And he has his attack animation. And this was actually something I was really proud of, because typically my animations in these games look like utter crap. And then there's the whole underground area that I was happy with. So yeah, like, the game had, like, a lot of promise, but I didn't follow up on that promise. And frankly, I hope if I were to make an HD version that this would be finished. Because honestly, I was actually really excited for this, but I just stopped working on it. I don't know why. But like I stated, I don't feel motivated enough to finish this version. And if you guys want an HD version of all these games, it's fine. I'll finish the game. In fact, it might be fun going back at these games and making them bigger and better. But yeah, you see, it's like you travel in between, like, the good and the bad dimensions. Like, there's the house, there's Kyla's house. You're able to jump on the clouds. I don't know why. I don't think the collision was fully programmed. Like, the castles. Kyla had his gun. In fact, the health bar feature was actually fully finished. As you can see, Crowbar Jones' health go up right up there. Crowbar Jones, he's able to attack Kyle with his crowbar. Like, whack, and his health goes down. And in fact, the health potions from Stick Figures Quest are the main health items that you can pick up. Honestly, going back to this game makes me kind of sad, because I was looking really forward to making this a finished game and playing it with my friends. But I never got the motivation to actually finish the game. The animations are all there. The characters look like how they did in the original games. Perfect. It actually makes me feel kind of bad that I never finished this. Though, if my games take off and people will see this video and want HD completed versions, I would be ecstatic. I want to go back and finish these games, but with the limitations of this website, it makes it really hard to get motivation to actually finish these. Especially seeing as how I don't really want to spend much time and effort going into a project that won't make me any kind of monetary gain. But yeah, that was World Tournament Fighter, the last game that I've ever really spent much time on. We have 2D Space Shooter. And I guess this one's kind of funny because the intro cutscene, yeah, this is the game with an intro cutscene, first of its kind of these. Aside from Turtles Quest, but that cutscene was made after this. There's one really funny thing about this opening cutscene, and that's the glaring proportion issue. Look at the spaceship, and look at the guy that comes out of it. Though I can say I was really proud of this cutscene because it's like it shows the actual alien attack. Also, the cutscene never finishes. It just stays on this. But I think it's just incredibly funny that it's just a glaring proportion issue with this tiny plane and then the giant guy. It's just really funny to me. And then the spaceship level 1. It was supposed to be like a 2D kind of like space shooter with the perks of also being like a top-down shooter. Like, there's the alien spaceships, you shoot them. That's literally everything that's happened with this. The assets, that's all the assets. Survivor, intro, spaceship, intro ship, entrance, cutscene trigger, KA bomb, I don't know what that means. There's the bullet. Pew. That's the alien lasers. That game literally had like no time put on it. It was kind of just like an idea that I had and kind of never really followed up for. Now this was an idea that I really, really, really wanted to finish alongside with, along with the Tournament Fighters. This is called Calculator. So there's the two main characters, an axe wielder and a bowsman, and there's Calculator, the wizard. How dare you come forth to Calculator? I shall banish the calculus picks, and then they go away. Though this guy's intro animation was never finished. Now this one was supposed to be really interesting. Like, you can definitely see it like the whacking animation, but then it's like if you were supposed to press spacebar, you were supposed to switch between like the two characters. Like you were supposed to switch between this guy and the bowsman, which unintentionally looked like a creeper from Minecraft. Yeah, you see, nothing of this game is finished. And I'm not going to press spacebar because it's like, some of this was programmed in on, like, the switching character thing. But there's, like, a glitch where if, like, the character you're playing as, like, it crashes your game if I press the spacebar. And I don't want that to happen because I'd have to restart, like, almost everything. It was originally going to be a two-player game, but then I thought of the idea of switching between characters. I could implement that in an HD version. Like I stated, this was just for Wacky Wacky 4 that never got never got started. And then here's the last game on this website that I've ever worked on. And, of course, never finished. Robo Steve and the Attack of Mecha Cow. This was based on a dumb idea. So you see, it's like you got Robo Steve. Yes, he jumps like Sonic. And he kind of has the body of an R2 unit from Star Wars. He was supposed... Yeah, he has like a boosting feature. Because the way I thought of this was... I was playing with some of my Legos and I had some of the Minecraft sets. Also, this happens. If you hold the jump button while he lands on the ground, he does this. I think it's funny, but it's not supposed to happen. But yeah, so it's like I had the... And it's like I had one of the R2 Legos. And I put the Steve's head on the R2 body. And I just thought that I had to make this a game. Yeah, there's like a chicken that was never... It was supposed to be a robo chicken that was never implemented. And then you're supposed to be able to like fly to like all the different like areas. And like the boost, I had like a limitation. Like once it goes all the way up, you can no longer fly. And then like it would reset once you hit the ground. Like, this game is incredibly stupid, but I wanted to finish it. The health bar feature was never implemented properly. And like I say, alongside with Tournament Fighter and Calculator, it had potential. I just never took part in that potential. Also, there's no proper death. Robo Steve is, I guess, until further notice, unkillable. Honestly, it makes me feel like nostalgic, well, also kind of sad that about with these games, because it's like when I first started making them, I poured my heart and soul into these games, and to just kind of see them here unfinished, glitchy messes, it's just a feeling that you can't really describe. But I hope you enjoyed having a look into the old things of how my game development career kind of, well, not really career, but how me and game development kind of started. Also, if you want to see like a part 2 video with like all the other games that have been made by my friends, feel free to like leave down in the comments if you would want to see that. That wasn't supposed to happen. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.